And welcome to Arts Talk. I'm Bill Roberts. It's February already, 2018. Unbelievable. A belated Happy New Year to all the viewers. So, as you probably know, we didn't do a show in January. We did our Christmas show in December at West Edmonton Mall on the boat, which was fantastic. The reason we didn't in January was because we had to set up all the auditions for my new co-host. And it was awesome. We had like 30 auditions, some video auditions. I was surprised, actually, at how many people signed up and wanted to audition to be my co-host. That was fantastic. It means a lot of people are watching the show and they want to be part of it. So we have on this show, which is amazing, and we're only going to do one show this month in February, simply because this show is based around our co-host finalists, all four of them. So we have Heidi Ellen, Marisa Lo, Cliff Smith, and Terri Thompson are the four finalists. So they're going to be on this show, and they were given some criteria to be on this show today, meaning that they had to bring their own guests, which was great. Then they have to do an event on the show, which is awesome as well. And they're going to talk a little bit about themselves. So you as our viewers who have been voting on Facebook, which is amazing, the votes are just out of this world. I didn't expect to see so many people voting as well, which has been great. So you're going to watch this show. You're going to see our co-host finalists as they do interviews. They work with me up here, and they're also going to talk about themselves. Then we're going to put up a second poll, and I'll talk a little bit about it at the end of the show as well, but there'll be a second poll going up on Facebook within about 24 hours of this show being uploaded, and you'll have another chance to vote for my co-host. And then we'll announce the winner in March on our Arts Talk show then, and we'll have a few announcements coming up about that as time goes on. So not only watch this show, but stay tuned to the Arts Talk Facebook page as well. We better get on with this show. We've got so much here that we need to do today. We'll be right back after this.
See what happens.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1. And you have 45 seconds.
Okay, are we on? Are we rolling? We're rolling?
Now we are, yes.
I have no idea. I feel like I should be like, like a vote for me is a vote for progress. You know what? I love this. I love the arts. I love asking really great questions. I love meeting new people, doing really cool making and creating, and just loving what they do and the passion that they do it. And I want to bring that out to not just Edmonton, but the world. I mean, we are doing some really cool things here, not just in Edmonton, Alberta, but Canada. And it's time to kind of show just how good we are. And I think one of the best ways that we can do that is by showcasing our arts. I really love the arts. If you really love me too, then vote for me. Remember, a vote for me is a vote for progress. This has been sponsored by the Marisa Lo campaign for Win Arts Talk.
Nice. All right, it's time again. Another one of our co-host finalists, Marisa Lo. How are you, Marissa?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So, here you are in the chair as a finalist,
Yes.
co-host for Arts Talk. How does it feel?
Honored. You know, I was up against a lot of really stiff competitions, so I kind of came out with my little Rocky, da-na-na. So I was pretty happy that I got to the Final Four, so thank you.
That's awesome. We're happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I call myself a community catalyst. So basically I try and drum up community wherever I can. I organize local pop-up shows in Edmonton, and we focus on the maker economy. So it's usually I like to pop up wherever we're needed and show Edmonton just how good our made local community is.
Awesome. You do Facebook Live.
I do a morning mindset where we kind of take a challenge or a problem and we come at it in a different way and see if we can kind of question everything about ourselves and then put it back together and go on about
That's
on
an
our
awesome
day.
idea.
Yeah, thanks. I
Gets
like
everybody
it.
started for their day and away they go.
Yeah, I really started it so that I would get out of bed in the morning.
That's a good idea.
And then it's worked out really well. Other people have joined me and said that this is a really good, especially from an entrepreneur. Sometimes you don't have a reason to get up, other than doing your work for the day. So being able to kind of set that appointment and show up and be a part of that community is just what you need. And you'd want to do it in your pajamas. No?
Well, why not? In your own home.
Yes, exactly.
I think we should do this show in our pajamas.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, why not? You have a guest coming on the show.
I do. Her name is Sukham Singh. She is an artist and fashion illustrator. Wow. Yeah, so she actually takes a look at, you know, instead of having the photography and the really high gloss, she actually looks at fashion from, you know, with her eye, with her artistry, and yeah, really cool stuff she makes.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Me too.
Actually, I think maybe we should bring her on right now.
Sounds like a great idea.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
And we're back with Sukham Singh, artist and fashion illustrator. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, great. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a bit about your art, because I think it's exceptional.
Well, I do fashion illustrations and fine art. My fashion illustrations are basically based on fashion, day-to-day fashion, people, maybe runway shows, and my fine art, coming from India, it is a lot more inspired by the colorful and rich culture of India, and I try to incorporate that in my art, both my fine art and my fashion illustrations.
Yeah, and you're a full-time artist.
Yes.
But that's not always what you've done.
Yeah. Okay. So I grew up in India. I grew up in a South Asian family. I come from a family of engineers and doctors and professors. So like every other South Asian parent, my parents wanted me to get a degree, get a respectable job. And so I did. I did my master's in computer engineering from India. I started working as a software engineer. But I've been painting all my life. I started painting when I was 4.
Wow.
And sitting behind that screen, punching those keys on the computer, I always thought to myself that this is not what I was meant to be. And things really changed when I moved here to Canada and I got this bigger platform. I thought, no, I have to really take my art a step forward and make it a profession. So I quit my job. I became a full-time artist, and that's how I ended up here.
What's it like being a full-time artist?
It's great. It's a great change from a 9-to-5 job to being able to paint whatever time you want to. Even at the middle of night, if you get an idea, you just rush out of your bed to your studio. Thankfully, I have a home studio to work in, and yeah, it's great. You get that freedom to work on whatever you want to. Nobody is bossing you around and telling you what to do. So that's a big thing.
Do you have any advice, for an example, for some of our viewers who maybe just who are artists but have kind of thought they want to do it full time, but they haven't really made that step yet? Do you have any advice for them?
I think the biggest advice that I can give to somebody is maybe just believe in yourself. Being an artist, and for me, coming as an outsider from a different country, the biggest challenge I faced was kind of just you know, believing in myself, and the one day I will be able to crack it, make it outside, and get my art out there. So just be persistent and keep doing what you're doing. That's it.
I'd love to know, who is your dream customer? Like, if they called you up and said, I want you to do a commission for me, who would that be?
I have a huge inspiration. I see a huge inspiration in Megan Hess. She's a big fashion illustrator, and she got a call from White House to draw an illustration for Michelle Obama for her book, What Will Michelle Do? And I think getting a call like that, or maybe being able to commission work for great woman, powerful woman like Michelle Obama or Oprah would be a dream come true.
Maybe Michelle's watching the show. We don't know.
Yeah.
Michelle, call Sookham.
Absolutely. So what would you draw for her? Tell us a bit about why you draw your fashion illustration. What does that even mean?
So if you see my art, it's all inspired by women. I love to draw women. I love to draw faces. I think there's this poetic and magical thing about female beauty, and I love to capture it through my brush. I love to draw strong women. One woman that I look up to in my fine art career is Frida Kahlo, and I think she was spectacular, the work she did, and I think drawing women like that, strong women like that, is what I want to do always. That's what I do.
Why do you think that's important, that we capture these strong women and put them up on our wall?
I'll tell you one reason I wore black today. I thought I'd support the Time's Up movement. I think the day the internet and the social media frenzy we are in, it's good that these issues are getting out, and it's good that to see all those strong women come up and come out, and you know, people looking people like me looking up to them and seeing how social media or powerful women like them can bring about that change. And I think like just taking inspiration from them, and fashion again or art again is a huge platform to capture that thing, or maybe convey those thoughts. So that's what I try to do.
So you use art to convey a message that you personally feel good about.
Being a so-called self-proclaimed feminist, that's what I try to do through my art.
All right, we're just about out of time. So just quickly, how do our viewers either get a hold of you or see some of your work?
Well, I put up a lot of trunk shows and do markets all around. I do Etsy, and I have my online store. I have my own online shop, and bringing in all my computer engineering experience, I try to manage my own website. I built my own website, I maintain it, and yes.
And what's the URL for that?
That's my name, so that's www.sookham.com, and then I have my own Etsy shop, and then I do shows. I have my own home studio, so wherever you want to pop by.
That's excellent. Well,
thank you so much for being here with us. I think it's
Sukham.
important messages that we learned today, so thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I think I would be a wonderful co-host, although I think everybody else would be a wonderful co-host as well. So, I don't actually have a reason. Vote for who you want to. I'm not good at this. That was really high-pitched. I'm fun. I'm a kid at heart, and I love art. I love art. I'm sorry. You should vote for me.
Welcome back. I have the pleasure now of introducing one of our co-host finalists that is competing to become my co-host on the show, Heidi Ellen. How are you, Heidi?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
That's good.
So, how's it felt since you did the audition process, which then, as I mentioned at the top of the show, was a really, really difficult decision for us to narrow it down to 4. So how does it feel now to be sitting in this chair as a finalist?
Pretty spectacular.
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 There's a big word. So, how did you feel getting ready for the show?
Good. It's not. I wasn't nervous, which is incredible. But I think, not having any lines and just getting to just be myself is nice.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about yourself so our viewers knew a little bit about who you are.
Well, I'm Heidi Ellen, and I am an Edmonton actress and bibliophile. How do you say that? Bibliophilia? I don't know. I like books. And I'm a mom.
We'll look to the peanut gallery in the background. Your mom? Yeah.
Yeah. A dog owner. And that is me.
That's awesome. And you, one of the things that, of course, we mentioned is each of our co-hosts, finalists, had to bring a guest onto the show.
Yeah.
You have a guest coming on.
I do. A very talented female filmmaker.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And who is it?
Diane Mahoney.
Is this somebody that you've worked with?
I have. I actually first met her on I Fub You, which I was the lead female in, and then I worked with her again on another project, and we're working on some other things now, and I thought she'd be a good person to interview. She's a lot of good things up in here.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we bring her on?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. I'm Heidi Ellen, and this is Arts Talk. Today we have Diane Mahoney with us, and she is a female filmmaker. What can you tell us about being a female filmmaker in the industry?
It's definitely a challenge for sure. As we all know, it's already we don't have enough openings for female filmmakers, and if you do, when you get that chance, it feels like all eyes are on you. Is she going to mess up? How is she going to handle things? So it's definitely a challenge, but I find too that Edmonton has a huge community that supports female filmmakers, which I'm really grateful for.
So Diane, are you writing, producing, directing, like doing the whole gamut?
Yes, definitely, like writing to producing, and yeah, I write some anywhere from music videos to short films, and I'm hoping to shoot my first feature this year.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It's a psychological thriller, and I don't want to give any
Don't want to give
spoilers
anything away,
yeah.
of course.
For
You got it.
sure.
For sure. So, I understand that you used to be a talk show host yourself.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about what that was like for you, and where did you work as a talk show host?
Yeah, that was about a decade ago, actually, in Manila, Philippines, and
Wow.
it's called Hero Channel under ABS-CBN, and it's really thrilling. It's a fun experience, and it's about anime. I got to don anime costumes, went to conventions, interviewed people, and it was really fun. That's where I first found out my love about production and all that stuff, definitely. So.
I think I noticed something in your bio that you did do costume design as well.
Yes, yes.
So how was that? That would be actually a great fit as you move into your film career, because not only can you write, produce, and direct, now you can design the costumes for your actors as well.
That's definitely one of my main passions. So yeah, when I hosted, I did cosplaying as well. I did all my costumes.
Yeah.
Until now, I have 2 little kids. I love making Halloween costumes for them, and that's still definitely my passion. So mostly in every production, I get called for production design, wardrobe, and yeah, like I said, that's still one of the top things I love doing. And yeah, I guess for my own films, I do love looking at periodic stuff where I can showcase what I could do.
For sure.
That's awesome.
So then, how have you found breaking away from production design and costume design into directing and producing? How's that transition been for you?
It has been hard because I did not have that experience behind it. Unlike production design, I've had years of experience behind that. But what I find is that going into writing, it's just letting all of it go, and directing is putting your vision into action, and that's how I approach it right now. And it's working so far. Yeah.
Do you write a lot? Is this something that you've done a long time, that you've got, or have you just started writing now because now you're getting into the whole film thing and you've got these ideas you want to get out there? And
Yeah, it's just 2 years for me. I've just had my first short film screen last November.
Nice.
And yeah, the reception was really good. After that, I've had a bunch of producers talking to me, discussing their projects, seeing if I would be willing to write for them. And it's something that I would like to do as well, only more I'd like to focus on what I could bring.
Right.
And how are you going to do that? What is the next step for you to pursue directing?
Yeah, it's definitely creating more opportunities for myself and other female filmmakers like myself. So we actually starting an all-female production team, which we are calling She-Wolf. And yeah, we've started the production meetings and stuff, and it's just great energies having all these women, like strong women, talented women alongside myself.
Well, it's exciting for our local film community for
Yes,
sure,
absolutely.
because as you said, there hasn't been enough women involved in the community, especially in the producing and directing and writing side. So I think that's awesome. We don't have a lot of time left. Diane, you mentioned you had a feature film coming up. You mentioned music video. Anything else on the horizon that you've got, or is it just a whole bunch of ideas you want to get out there?
Definitely a whole bunch of ideas, and yeah, I just want to tackle them all.
That's awesome. One last question for you. Do you have any advice for the finalists who are becoming, possibly becoming, co-hosts of Arts Talk?
Just have fun with it, really. Everything you do that you have fun with, it doesn't feel like work, and it's just, that's how you do well in it.
And that's what we like to do on Arts Talk, is have fun.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much for Diane
Thank
for being
you
on the
for
show.
having me.
We'll be right back after this.
Hi. So, if you're considering me as the Arts Talk co-host, I am now supposed to talk myself up and tell you why you should pick me. I don't have a good reason. I'm hoping after you've watched this show that maybe you have a good reason why, and that's why you will vote for me as the next co-host. Otherwise, it'll just be something else that I came so close to winning and then didn't. But I've been good, sort of, maybe. You know what? I can be voted off again. It's happened before. Why not happen again? I'm good. I'm good in my Lululemons every day, with my children, or at basketball practice in my sweats. I don't need a reason to put on makeup or brush my hair. But I don't want to make you feel bad or guilty, because there's 3 other awesome people here. And again, I don't do self-promotion. I don't know.
You're good.
And we're back. I've got another co-host finalist with me, Terri Thompson. Those of you who watch the show will recognize Terri from Baking with Terri. Those are great segments.
Not bad.
And as I said, Terri actually was a guest co-host during our Christmas show as well.
Yes.
And as I said to Terri, now you're in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this numerous times. When I'm in your kitchen, I feel the pressure.
Do you?
I do.
I'm glad to know
when I'm
that
rolling
now.
out the dough and you're looking over my shoulder and you say, no, that's not, you got to do it more firmer, and you grab the rolling pin and just go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to make a point of just staring at you
I think that's...
questioningly more often during that segment,
maybe,
just to see how you react to the pressure.
I think
I
that's
might do
what
that.
happens. So Terri, tell us a little bit about yourself.
See, you always ask me this, and I never know what to say, because it's like, what do I do? You know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got 3 girls, so that's fun and busy.
And what were you were on a show last summer that some of our viewers may have watched. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was on the Great Canadian Baking Show, the sort of inaugural season of the show, and it's actually coming back for a 2nd season. So it was just a reality show based on amateur bakers from across the country, and I was lucky enough to be one of 10 contestants selected for it.
Cool. So what was more pressure? Great Canadian Baking Show or being a co-host finalist for Arts Talk? Well, you got to think about that.
That's tough. That's tough. No, I'm sorry. You're not making me bake anything. Nothing could completely fail. I won't start crying right now, so I feel like this is less pressure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a guest coming on the show.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about your guest.
Yeah, she's a good friend and also a really talented designer. Her name's Cory Richards. She's the main fashion designer behind Louis Mayhem.
Wow.
It is a locally based Edmonton fashion line that she's sort of done all from the creativity of her own mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should get Cory on.
I think we should. She's really great.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Terri. Welcome back to Arts Talk Online. Our next guest is Cory Richards, fashion designer with Louis Mayhem, local to Edmonton.
How are you, Cory?
I'm awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thanks for being here today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
We're actually really excited to hear all about your fashion line. I know for me personally, I love supporting the arts locally and the farmers markets, but fashion isn't something I always think of when I think of Edmonton. So tell us a bit about you and your fashion line.
Okay, well, I'm in based in Edmonton, and a lot of people when they're shopping around, they don't really think they can get a lot of this stuff locally. But the truth is, there's tons of us here. It's not just me. Like if you go down the street down White Ave, there's a lot of other different local designers around. So it's something I kind of fell into. I used to be in the music industry, and then I switched to fashion when I had my kids about 10 years ago. And turns out I was good at sewing, and it worked for me. And now that's how I support myself and my babies.
And what would you say is sort of your genre with your fashion design that you...
I do alternative fashion, and it falls under dark tribal, pagan, and Wiccan style fashion. Everything is like a little bit darker edge. It's quite popular with people that do like the festivals or any kind of the crazy events, things like that.
And where would people have seen you? What are some of the events you've been to?
I do a lot. Well, I do like Western Canada Fashion Week. That's the more mainstream, the bigger one where you get the runway time and stuff. But you also see me vending places like Comic-Con, Taboo, Astral Harvest, Animathon, some of the Viking kind of events. Anything that's considered alternative fashion.
So where do you get all your inspiration from? Like what just all of a sudden comes to you and says, this is what I want to put together?
Oh, honestly, I just look at a big pile of fabric on the floor and I'm like, that mess looks like it's going to be something awesome. Yeah. So I just cut it. I don't use patterns. I'm not trained. It turned out it was something that I was really good at.
Yeah.
And I just make stuff. Cool stuff.
That's cool. I
I
had a peek at the website that Terri sent me.
Yeah.
And wow, there's some awesome stuff on there.
Some fabulous stuff on there, and really artistic. That's what I like about it, is you can sort of see the thought process behind your designs through the pictures that you have done, and I think it's really cool how you sort of mesh the two things together. It's really beautifully done.
Well, the truth is a lot of people think you can't wear this stuff in real life. Like, they'll come up to me and they'll say, like, who would wear this? And I'm like, I'm literally wearing it right now. Like, this is awkward. But lots of people do. Like, the stuff that I make, it's not stuff you'll find in malls, but it's stuff that people wear that want to be a little bit edgier, but it's still practical. It's still comfortable.
And what are some of your best sellers?
My best seller right now is actually a men's style warrior wrap. So it's a big, deep hooded piece, and then it wraps around the chest and has these long strands that hang down. And men seem to really like it because everyone wants to be a warrior. And women like it too because then they could be a sexy warrior. So.
And now, do you do also sort of commission stuff? Like, will someone write to you and say, hey, I'm looking for something similar to this? Or do you pretty much just get free range in most of your designs?
I prefer to have free range. I'm not going to lie. I'll take a commission very rarely if I'm doing a favor or something, but I prefer not to, because the truth is it's hard because I'm not always in town, and to commit that time to doing something and redoing it something to someone else's vision. Like, usually when someone hires a designer, you want the designer's vision.
Okay.
So if someone was to hire me and say, I want a trench coat, you make it Louis Mayhem style, I'll do it, no problem. But if someone's like, can you sew me this wedding dress that's this perfect cut and all this stuff, that's, you go to a seamstress.
Right.
Like, it's not really, it's different. Like, I'm creating art onto these mannequins and things. I'm not cutting and pasting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And how long does it actually take you to make a piece right from when you said the fabric's on the floor, pick it up and away you go? How long does it take?
It depends on the piece. So if it's something that's I'm going to use to sell in my booth, if I'm trying to just make income off of it, then I'll send it to factory. So if I've made it at home more than 100 times, I won't sew it again. I'll send it. I've got a factory in Ontario and one in Indonesia, and I'll send them there and get that stuff going. And then if I'm doing a custom or like something that's for the runway, that's where I put, like, if I'm welding, like, I'll weld these big shoulder pads or things. Something like that would take me a couple days. Right. Just depending on what the piece is.
That's really cool.
And so if people want to find you through your website, louismayhem.com, the best way? Do you have an Etsy store
I've got all of it. So you could go to, like, that www.louis, that one of those little score things, mayhem.com. And then I've got, Etsy, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter,
and in town,
everything.
Where locally could someone go to buy some of your pieces?
Actually, Sanctuary Curio Shop on White Ave, I manage that store as well, and then they've got an exclusive on the line, so you can find lots of the stuff there.
And just quickly, you mentioned fashion shows. Anything coming up?
Western Canada is in March. That'll be the next big one. And we're doing like an exorcism collection for that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm currently looking for a crab walker.
Oh, wow.
So I need someone who can do it not just for a little bit.
Appealing to the crab walkers.
A lady crab walker. Yeah, I'll take male. I'm not, you know, adverse to gender switching, whatever.
It is what it is.
It is
as long as you're a crab walker.
Yeah. So let me know.
Cory, that's right.
That's awesome. Well, we've run out of time already.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just flies right
Cory.
by. Thanks so much for being on the show, Cory.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you.
We'll be right back after this.
As a contestant vying to be the co-host on Arts Talk in Edmonton, I would ask you to vote for me, I guess. There's so many other wonderful contestants as well, so why me? I don't know. I'm not very good at self-promotion, especially not in this part, because it's really not about me. It's about art. I find art fascinating in every single one of its iterations, and I think everybody does. What I find more fascinating are the creators behind the art. And I think what I'd love to do in any kind of situation like this is be able to bridge the gap between artist and appreciator. And I'd like to be the go-between for that. And of course, there's always the overlap. There's the appreciators who are artists and the artists who are appreciators. And I think it would be fascinating to be able to bring these people to bear in our community. So yeah, if you think I'd be good at it, give me a vote. Thanks. Wow, that was ridiculous. Sorry.
The word iteration, like that's
Oh, what?
No, it just rolled right off the tongue.
Okay.
And you have got your phone for your... Yeah. That was 45 seconds.
Was it?
We are back. I have another Arts Talk co-host finalist, Cliff Smith. How are you, Cliff?
I'm good, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So tell our viewers a little bit about Cliff.
Well, I'm a photographer, and that's what I do for the legal tender, of course. And of course, a lot that I don't do for the legal tender.
I don't know if our viewers want to know about
exactly,
that.
the artistic part of things. And I'm an actor. I'm a local actor here, and involved in whatever projects that anybody would have me do. I find it fascinating to be on stage. And yeah, husband to a lovely young woman who actually sings in a chorus.
Oh, wow.
That brings us to our next guest, perhaps.
Well, maybe that's segue. Tell us a little bit about your guest.
My guest is Lisa Greenough, her name is. She is the top dog and musical director of a local chapter of the Sweet Adelines International. They're an international barbershop quartet group, or not barbershop quartet, but quartet chorus.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, it was a mouthful.
Say that 5 times
and
fast.
she's I know, and she's the musical director of the Edmonton chapter called Gateway Chorus. So very, very, very exciting to be talking with her about music.
So how does it feel to be sitting up here as a finalist?
Somewhat nerve-wracking, a little bit nervous. I didn't think I would be. But sometimes, you know, as actors, somebody tells us what to say. Makes us a little bit comfortable. But sometimes when there's no script, well, yeah, maybe it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But good, though. Good fun.
You're doing just fine. As the audience knows, we have the other contestants are here.
Right.
And you were helping out a little bit earlier with some word pronunciation in the background.
In the background, yelling out words.
Which sometimes we need that.
Exactly.
You know, we do get a little bit tongue-tied.
It's the director in me.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I think? I think we should bring your guest on.
Absolutely. That'd be wonderful.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hi, and welcome back to Arts Talk. My name is Cliff, and I'm terribly excited to be here today with Lisa Greenough. She is the musical director of the local chapter of the Sweet Adelines International, and the local chapter is Gateway Chorus. And Lisa Greenough is the head honcho of everything music.
The head honcho
of everything music.
Yeah, wow.
Look at a business card that says
that's so. Right. Lisa, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure to be here.
And just in way of introduction, I wonder if you can tell us just a little bit about what Chorus is and the local chapter, the Gateway chapter, and what it means to Edmonton, what it means for the women singing there, perhaps.
Okay, well, Gateway is part of Sweet Adelines International. So Sweet Adelines is worldwide. There's 20,000 of us all over the world. And we're the local Edmonton chapter here. The chorus has been around for over 60 years. I've been part of them for the last 21. I was a singer with them for about 16, 17 years. I've been their director for the last 5 or 6 years. Wow. So yes, it's educational is really what we focus on with the chorus, is that education, teaching women how to sing, teaching them how to sing a cappella, which is an entirely different genre. There's no background music supporting them. There's no piano, there's no nothing. It's just them. And so building those barbershop chords, and we're different from choirs. I equate it to the difference between high school choir and show choir. We're show choir. We're the Glee Club. Right. All singing, all dancing.
So you mentioned you teach women how to sing. So do you have to have any background to join you, like, or do you come in an audition, or what happens?
We do have an audition process for our chorus, but we let the ladies that want to check it out know that really all we're looking for is somebody who can carry a tune and is willing to learn.
Excellent.
Yeah, and because we sing in 4 different parts, lots of women who haven't had an outlet to sing in can have an opportunity to sing, because we actually have a female bass section.
Wow.
So we have women with nice, low, solid voices.
Nice.
I happen to be one of them. that get to sing for the first time since forever for them, because, you know, other choirs and singing groups, the women's part is just too high. You know, and then we also, of course, have our tenor section that sing all those crazy high notes, and our leads carry it along. So, and then of course our baritones make it barbershop. That's what makes it barbershop. They carry those chords.
If you've never heard, I mean, many people have heard a barbershop quartet, 4 people. But if you've ever heard, 50 voices in a barbershop style harmony, it is thrilling. It is completely and utterly thrilling. I mean, it gets to the body and the soul, and it's really remarkable. And to watch Lisa do the directing, as she says, is really amazing. I've had an opportunity to see it a few times.
Well, I mean, there is some science back there that supports barbershop and the actual physical response, because of the chord structure and the sound waves. You actually do get the goosebumps and the physical response to the sounds when it's done right.
So where do you normally perform? Like, where can people see you?
Well, we perform all over the city. We do a lot in December. November and December are very busy for us, because we do a lot of performances for Christmases all over town. We do an annual Christmas performance at the legislature, which is always a highlight for us. And then, of course, we compete within our own region. So we are part of a region that is all of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and BC.
Oh, wow.
So all of those Sweet Adeline choruses come together in friendly competition.
I was going to say, so how competitive does it get?
Just kidding. We all love our sisters in song.
I'm sure you do.
But no, we all come together and we compete for the coveted win, and then whoever wins our region gets to go on to an international competition.
Oh, wow.
So right now the chorus is preparing for our annual regional competition in Surrey, BC.
Oh,
we'll be there in May. Yeah, so fingers crossed, we'll do some damage there.
I wonder if you could touch
and move on.
I wonder if you can
touch me a little nervous.
Yeah, not with her at the helm. Can you touch on the individual quartets? Because
well, part of the organization is also quartetting.
Right.
So we support our quartets in the chorus. Quartets are their own little separate entity. They practice on their own. They perform on their own. They compete on their own and stuff like that. But we, of course, as a chorus, are their biggest cheerleaders. I myself am in a quartet. We've been as high as second in our region. Haven't quite made it over that hurdle to get to the international stage yet. But we keep working at it every year. So
we're starting to run out of time already. So for those ladies that are out there that are maybe singers or haven't sung for years and years, how do they get a hold of you if they want to come do an audition?
Well, they can find us on our website, gatewaychorus.com. Our Facebook page is also very active, so just search up Gateway Chorus and you'll find us there. All of our rehearsal information, we rehearse at the Hub, the Orange Hub, every Tuesday night at 6:30.
Excellent.
And just the final thing I'd like to ask you about is people come for the music and all that. But I find the community in Gateway Chorus is
what we tell everybody.
phenomenal.
The music will bring you through the door, but it's the community that'll make you stay.
Right. I've never seen more happy people at any given time. So it's awesome. Lisa, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming.
My pleasure.
Today.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We'll be right back after this.
So Qualico Communities presents Sharon and Bram. For just the price of a toonie, you can go and see them on Family Day, February 19th, at the Shell Theatre in Fort Saskatchewan, which is also in the Dow Centre. You can head on over to get your tickets at shelltheatre.ca.
All right, folks, I need to tell you about a wonderful event coming up March 24th at Fife and Deckel on the West End. It's about 106th Avenue and 170th Street. Here's the deal. Just choose that place to go for your dinner that night, and in doing so, you will support a wonderful cause, and that wonderful cause happens to be a fringe play called Nightmare. And it's fantastic. We're building it from the very ground up, and this is all Edmonton, all Alberta, all talent from here. If you come, you'll get a nice little show as well. You'll probably see some dancers from Bedouin Beats. You'll meet the brains behind the production company, one of the Kazoo Productions, and maybe even a little bit of a show and tell, and perhaps some question and answers for the actor and the director and all the dancers as well. It's a very simple thing. You come, you have your dinner there, you have some fun, get to meet everybody, and on top of all of that, get a little show, and the absolute bonus is you're helping us. All proceeds from the food that night goes directly to our show and helps us bring this wonderful show that we're creating from ground up to stage. I appreciate that if you would come. Thank you.
Looking for a glamorous night and a fun way to watch the Oscars? Then come and join Shadow Theatre at Boulevard Bar and Kitchen for their annual Oscar night fundraiser. Tickets are $99 and include a 3-course meal from the culinary wizards at Boulevard Bar and Kitchen. There'll be live entertainment provided by Hey Ladies, and it'll be emceed by Noel Taylor, all while watching the Oscars live. There's also a silent auction and prizes for best dressed and much more. The event takes place on March 4th from 5:30 to 10 at Boulevard Bar and Kitchen on Jasper Avenue. This is a fantastic event and a great way to help support local theatre. You can contact Shadow Theatre or go to the Oscar Night 2018 Facebook page. Tickets can also be purchased through Eventbrite Oscar Night 2018, presented by Shadow Theatre.
Up next in March at the Citadel Theatre, Children of God, written by Cory Payette. This haunting tale of 2 Indigenous children sent away to the residential school is about redemption, both from the mother who was denied access to the school at the gates and her 2 children who never knew she was there. This musical focuses on ancient traditions and contemporary realizations of the struggle that our Indigenous people go through. It's up next at the Citadel Theatre from March 3rd to 24th, and tickets are now available at citadeltheatre.com. Okay, well, I think Terri should win because she was so put together. She got up there, did a really great interview. She makes like emotions to the cameras, which I am like, I just ignore the camera. I saw her like making like beautiful eye contact. She was just really great voice. Does that work?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's good.
You guys have, why do you think
keep
Terri should
going.
win?
Just keep going.
I think Terri should win because she sat up here. I don't know. Did you sit, stand? I don't know. And
She sat.
but she was like, she self-promoted in a way that was very humble. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was like perfect.
I went on the poll and voted for her like this. It was like, do you want to undo your vote for yourself? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it was like the lack of self-promotion self-promoted you.
Oh, thanks.
That's why you should vote for Terri.
Thanks.
And I think Terri should win, really. I mean, think about it. Cookies, baking, etc., etc., etc. And the show, she got voted off, so it's only fair that on this she gets voted on.
It's true.
Wow.
It's true.
Right?
That's true.
Thank
true.
you.
That's true.
Thank you for bringing that up again.
I meant the voted on part!
I'm fairly certain every time I've done this show that's been brought up. Maybe, you know what, maybe I'm good.
Didn't you technically bring
Well,
it up
maybe
yourself,
this is-
though?
Well, I was having to get some sympathy for votes.
Right.
Okay,
right.
but I was assisting.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just, it's still a sore point. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, so Terry, start with you. Why should Marisa win?
Well, you just saw her live fabulously. So every guest that comes on, she's going to have wonderful things to say, even if they're not true.
What if I don't like them?
You fake it till you make it.
I actually can't. I'm really bad at lying,
No, and
actually.
see, you said that I worked the camera, and that shocked me, because I thought this girl was over here working her magic. I saw the hands going. You're like, no, stop, let's do this again.
Yeah, I am Italian, so we talk with
Yeah,
hands.
no, I thought it was great. So I think you're just really personable and just
Thanks.
a natural in front
Actually,
of the
I
camera.
have to agree with
Wow.
that
Yeah.
because it was natural in front of
Yeah,
the camera,
absolutely.
and whenever there was an issue, it was like, stop, no, cut,
Done.
let's do this
Yeah,
again.
she's got
You know
this.
exactly where you're headed, and you want to get there.
Yeah.
Well, or
And
I'm
I-
just really good at making up as I go.
That too, and,
Yeah.
and I think that deserves a vote.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I also found you very prepared. You know, you had it all in here, and you sounded like a news broadcaster. It was very professional.
But in a fun way.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Like
good.
not like a
morning
wah,
talk
wah,
show.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Newscaster.
Yes.
That's the kind.
Yes.
Like a news
Like the fun ones. Not
enough.
the boring, serious 6 o'clock news.
Yes, that was a
Good
compliment.
time in the morning.
Not a
That
non-compliment.
sounded wrong. Did you say good time in the morning?
So vote for me because I bring a good time in the morning.
That sounds like
Okay,
it worked.
that seems like a good slogan.
That's the one.
Yeah,
And I'll start with why Heidi.
Yeah.
please do.
Coming from a person like me, you'll understand that it's the hair. She really knows how to work the hair. See what I mean? She knows how to work the hair. She knows how to, sort of tease the camera, etc. And what she will do is she will bring out the best in the guests because the guests will be very comfortable with her. And so I think you should vote for Terri. For.
Oh, well.
She went for Heidi. Was that like a Freudian thing? I'm out.
Well, clearly.
Clearly.
That's a problem.
It's the baking. I'm partial to the baking.
Heidi.
Heidi.
Although,
Heidi.
fair enough, we do
Fair enough.
kind of.
Yeah.
maybe
Yes,
have
the
a similar-
ponytails.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hair
Yeah,
actually,
I feel
like even the
kind of-
bang. I feel like
I'm like the older
Did
model.
you guys not send me the memo? Like,
I know.
Did you get
Well,
the memo?
nobody sent me the memo.
Yeah,
Seriously.
awkward.
Seriously.
Well, and I really loved how you did that little head kind of like, it was like, it really rounded out the interview. You're just like, this is, we have closed. Camera down. I love that.
And I think what I loved is you're just fun. So like when you had a little flub, like we all did here tonight, I'm not going to put it on just being you.
Yeah.
You laughed it off. And you could laugh at yourself or laugh along with us as we joked about possible
That's
dirty
huge.
things
And
in the
laugh.
background.
Yeah.
And you just laughed it off and then you stepped right back in and started again. It's
Thank
good.
you.
I'm looking forward to your fringe play, maybe called Dinky Do at the Dodge.
Yeah.
Tickets
Coming
go
to
on
you
sale.
soon.
Yeah, tickets go on sale.
And then, you in the morning. could also be,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And did you want to start off by why Cliff should win after the whole
He shouldn't,
Heidi
right?
Terri fiasco? Or?
Well, I think that Cliff should win because you were also very put together. My goodness, yours was like, ha ha ha, laughing, and then you're like, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
with all the words.
He actually had good reasons why people should vote for him, which I was like,
The thing is, I don't actually remember what I said because it's very
It
nervous.
doesn't matter.
yeah,
It's
you
all
felt
on
it.
camera.
The feeling was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, when I was watching you do the interview, I was so entertained by your facial expressions and your questions that you asked. I was just like, I want to see more of him, which does not help me at all. But I was definitely like, I was thankful that I might have given you a vote on the old poll already.
Can we
vote
vote
on the
three
phone?
times?
That
On his,
poll.
not on his
No,
poll.
I don't know
the
where I am.
online poll.
Where am I right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right then.
All right. That's not what I was going to say. It was just falling right out of my head. No, I was going to say that I actually thought that you seem to be a true lover of the arts. Like when I hear you talk about it, I can feel your passion for it, and I think that's totally what the show does need. And you use the word iteration. That's a vote for me right there. You didn't stumble on it. 1 vote for using iteration correctly without a fumble. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd just like to say something about all of us. You can absolutely tell that we're not good at the self-promotion thing, but we seem to be very good at promoting the others. So I think maybe we should be voting for each other and
Good
just
idea.
leave us out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
I like that.
And everybody else, and then everybody else can decide. So, right?
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Deal.
My God.
Unbelievable. That is the end of our February show. These 4 are all awesome. How are we going to make a decision? You need to vote for these 4. You know, they're all amazing. It's been a fun show. They all had great guests. We had a blast. I hate for the show to end, but we will be back next month and we'll have a new co-host. Make sure you vote. You guys are all awesome. Thanks, Terry, Marissa, Heidi, Cliff. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks,